Lily skipped through the forest. She loved the woods. Birds sang, squirrels chattered, sunbeams danced on the leaves. But today was different. A new sound filled the air, a faint tinkling tune. What was it?
Lily stopped to listen. She followed the sound. Where was it coming from? It seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. Around a bend in the path, the trees thinned.
Lily gasped. She had found the source of the music. It was a beautiful tiny music box. It lay open on a moss-covered stone. But it wasn't playing. Lily was confused. She knew she had heard music. Where was it coming from then?
Lily bent down to touch the music box. Suddenly, the forest spoke.
"Help us," whispered the trees. Their leaves rustled sadly. "Find the missing melody," sang the birds. Their voices were filled with worry. "The forest needs its music," croaked a frog from a lily pad. Lily was astonished. The forest was magical, and it needed her help.
She had to find the missing melody. But how? Where would she even begin? Lily decided to follow the path deeper into the woods. Perhaps she would find some clues. She carefully put the music box in her pocket. With a determined look on her face, she set off on her quest. The forest held its breath. Would Lily succeed? Lily walked for what seemed like hours. The forest grew darker and denser. Strange shadows danced around her. Lily felt a little scared, but she remembered her promise. She had to help the forest. Just then, she saw a wise old owl perched on a branch above. Its eyes glimmered in the fading light.
"Excuse me, wise owl," Lily said politely. "I'm looking for the forest's missing melody. Have you seen it?"
The owl hooted softly and turned its head. "The melody is lost, little one," it said, its voice a low hoot, "stolen by mischievous sprites who live deep in the woods."
Lily's heart sank. She had been on this journey for what felt like an eternity, and the weight of uncertainty was beginning to take its toll. The forest around her seemed to close in, the trees whispering secrets she couldn't quite understand. She felt a pang of doubt, wondering if she would ever find what she was looking for. Mischievous sprites? They sounded troublesome. Stories of their tricks and pranks had reached her ears, tales of travelers led astray and lost in the depths of the forest. Yet, there was also talk of their wisdom and the magic they held. If anyone could help her, it would be them. But she had come too far to give up now. Her resolve hardened, and she pressed on, each step a testament to her determination. The path was treacherous, with roots and rocks threatening to trip her, but she navigated it with a newfound sense of purpose.
"Can you tell me how to find them?" she asked the owl. Her voice was steady, but there was a hint of desperation in her eyes. The owl, wise and ancient, seemed to ponder her question for a moment.
"Follow the sparkling stream," the owl advised, pointing with its wing. Its voice was calm and reassuring, a stark contrast to the turmoil in Lily's heart. The owl's eyes gleamed with a knowing light, as if it had seen many travelers like her before. "It will lead you to the sprite's hidden glade." The words hung in the air, filled with promise and mystery. Lily felt a spark of hope ignite within her. The hidden glade was said to be a place of great beauty and magic, a sanctuary for those who could find it.
Lily thanked the owl and hurried towards the sound of rushing water. Her heart pounded with anticipation, each step bringing her closer to her goal. The forest seemed to come alive around her, the leaves rustling in encouragement. The path became faint and disappeared altogether. She found herself in a dense thicket, the way forward obscured by overgrown foliage. But she didn't let it deter her. She had come too far to turn back now. But Lily didn't lose hope. She took a deep breath, her senses heightened. She could feel the presence of the stream nearby, its energy calling out to her. She could hear the stream gurgling nearby. The sound was faint but unmistakable, a gentle melody that guided her steps. It was as if the stream itself was leading her on. Pushing aside some leafy branches, she saw it. The stream was more beautiful than she had imagined, its waters clear and sparkling in the dappled sunlight. It was the most beautiful stream she had ever seen. The water flowed gracefully, its surface shimmering like 1,000 diamonds. It was a sight that took her breath away. The water sparkled like 1,000 diamonds in the sunlight. Each ripple caught the light, creating a dance of colors that mesmerized her. She felt a sense of peace wash over her. Lily followed the stream as it twisted and turned through the forest. The path was winding, but she felt confident. The stream was her guide, its song a constant companion. The sound of the water seemed to echo the lost melody. It gave her hope. The melody was familiar, a tune she had heard in her dreams. It was a sign that she was on the right path. She was on the right track. With renewed determination, she continued her journey, knowing that the sparkling stream would lead her to the sprites and the answers she sought.
The stream led me to a clearing bathed in golden light. It was as if the sun itself had chosen this spot to shine its brightest, casting a warm, inviting glow over everything. The air was filled with a sense of wonder and magic, making me feel like I had stepped into a dream. It was a magical place. The trees seemed to whisper secrets to each other, their leaves rustling softly in the gentle breeze. The ground was carpeted with soft, emerald green moss that felt like walking on a cloud. Everywhere I looked, there was something new and enchanting to discover.
Flowers bloomed in every color imaginable. They were not just ordinary flowers. Each one seemed to glow with an inner light, their petals shimmering like precious gems. The air was filled with their sweet fragrance, creating a symphony of scents that was almost intoxicating. Butterflies danced in the air. Their wings sparkled in the sunlight, creating a dazzling display of colors as they flitted from flower to flower. It was as if they were performing a delicate ballet, each movement perfectly choreographed to the music of the glade. And right in the middle, a group of tiny, shimmering creatures were playing. They moved with such grace and joy, their laughter ringing out like the sweetest music. It was clear that this was their home, a place where they could be free and happy.
They were the sprites. They flitted and twirled, their movements so quick and light that they seemed to be made of pure light and air. Watching them was like seeing a living, breathing work of art. Their laughter was like tinkling bells, a sound so pure and joyful that it made my heart swell with happiness. It was impossible not to smile in their presence.
And in the center, surrounded by the sprites, was the source of the melody. It was a beautiful, glowing music box, its surface covered in intricate designs that seemed to come to life in the light. It was the music box Lila had found. She had stumbled upon it during one of her many adventures, never realizing just how special it truly was. But this time, it was playing the most beautiful music she had ever heard. The melody was so enchanting, so perfect, that it seemed to weave itself into the very fabric of the glade, making everything around it even more magical.
The sprites were using the music box to power their magical games. They would touch it lightly, and it would respond with a burst of light and sound, filling the air with even more magic. No wonder the forest was sad. Without the music, it had lost its heart, its very soul. The trees drooped and the flowers wilted, as if they were mourning the loss of their beloved melody. Its music had been taken away. The once vibrant and lively forest had become a shadow of its former self, a place of quiet and sorrow.
Lila knew she had to get it back. She couldn't let the forest remain in such a state. She had to find a way to return the music to its rightful place. But how could she approach the sprites without scaring them away? They were so delicate, so easily frightened. She would have to be very careful, very gentle if she was to succeed in her mission.
The forest is sad without it. The trees drooped and the flowers seemed to lose their vibrant colors. Even the birds were silent, as if mourning the absence of the music that once filled the air. But it belongs to the forest. The melodies were like the heartbeat of this magical place, bringing life and joy to every corner. That music is beautiful. It was enchanting, weaving through the trees and making the leaves dance. Lily could feel the magic in every note. "Hello," Lily said timidly. She had never seen such creatures before and was both curious and a little afraid. Their eyes sparkled with mischief. They were tiny, with wings that shimmered in the light, and they seemed to be up to something. The sprites stopped playing and turned to look at her. They were surprised to see a human in their midst. Lily took a deep breath and stepped into the glade. She felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness.
One, braver than the others, hovered in front of her face. It looked at her with wide, curious eyes. The sprites giggled and flew around her. They seemed to be playing a game, darting in and out of the trees.
"We just wanted to play with it," he said, his voice like the chime of a tiny bell. The sprite's voice was so delicate and sweet, it made Lily smile.
"We didn't know the forest would miss it so much," another sprite chimed in. They looked genuinely remorseful, their playful demeanor replaced with concern.
"If you promise to return it." Lily's voice was firm but kind. She understood their desire to play but knew the importance of the music to the forest. "Perhaps you could borrow it sometimes," Lily suggested. She wanted to find a solution that would make everyone happy. They were just having fun. The sprites loved the music as much as the forest did, and they didn't mean any harm. Lily smiled. The sprites didn't mean any harm. She could see that they were just playful beings who enjoyed the magic of the forest.
The sprites exchanged excited glances. They were thrilled at the idea of being able to play with the music again.
Really? They squealed in unison. Their voices were filled with joy and anticipation.
Lily nodded. She was happy to have found a way to make both the sprites and the forest happy.
But you must promise to be careful with it. She knew that the music was precious and needed to be treated with care.
The sprites readily agreed. They handed the music box back to Lily with a flourish. The music stopped. The glade fell silent. Even the butterflies seemed to hold their breath. Lily held her breath, wondering if she had made a mistake. Then she opened the music box. The beautiful melody filled the glade once more. But this time it was different. It was softer, gentler.
It was as if the music box was happy to be back in the forest.
The sprites clapped their tiny hands in delight. They danced to the music, their movements graceful and light. Lily laughed. It seemed the forest and the sprites could share the music after all. Lily, with the music box tucked safely in her pocket, followed the stream back to the main path. As she walked, she could hear the music following her. It seemed to flow through the trees, reaching every corner of the forest. The trees swayed gently, their leaves rustling cheerfully. The birds sang along, their voices filled with joy. Even the sunlight seemed to dance with the melody.
The forest was alive with music again. Lily smiled. She had done it. She had helped the forest and made new friends along the way.
Reaching the edge of the woods, she turned back one last time. The music was fainter now, but still there. It was a reminder of the magical adventure she had experienced. That night, lying in bed, Lily could still hear the faint melody. It was a secret she shared with the forest. As she drifted off to sleep, she dreamed of dancing sprites and singing trees. The music box lay on her bedside table, glowing softly. It was a reminder that even the smallest voice can make a difference, and that magic can be found in the most unexpected places.
The forest, too, slept soundly that night, its dreams filled with the sound of music and the memory of a brave little girl who had helped them find their missing melody.
The end.